Hello interwebs, this is Quisani, Wordcaster. I'm torturing myself with this game. Cheap, crappy 2-bit game. Well, 16-bit game. And I don't know what I'm doing. Old ladder leading up to an ancient water tower. The ladder needed to be extended so I could climb it. I extend the ladder? Yeah. Off the latch and brought down the ladder. I'm gonna be pushed off the top. What was that? Patch of smeared dirt and grass. There was a beat up wallet. I thought it was mine. Did I take it? Yeah. Well, it was missing ID or cards, but it had a bit of cash left in it. So in my back pocket, I wondered why my credit card and driver's license were. From the railings I could see over the woods and down into the entrance of the sewers. Come through there before. If I did, someone definitely could have seen me. Put this up here. Was there somebody else carrying it? I don't want to know. Okay, those are freaking bats. Little quiet noises. The door was locked tight with an old padlock. A faded sign on the door warned about some kind of train yard. Must have been referred to Troun's only train station. It didn't look like I'd be able to get through there at all. This must have been the entrance to the forest that was mentioned on the map I had seen. Whoever was poking around in these tunnels underneath that man's house had been scribbled notes on the place, but I couldn't make them out. Here, the sign, various campsite mentioned a wash rest to fade. Trampled in the dirt and grass was a plastic card of some kind. I was surprised to see it was my credit card. Still usable, but it was mine. Did I take back my credit card? Why wouldn't I? I'm not going to let a bear steal my identity. See a dilapidated outbuilding. I wondered if I could find my way around. I could go back that way. Go this way. Let's go back this way. Further into the woods. Further into the woods. The worn picnic table stood within a circle of trees like an altar. It was covered in faint markings and carving from where were previous campers and hikers. I read some of the names and notes on the table's surface. Uncle Phil, Henry, Daniel, David D. Seemed like the table had seen a lot of use over the years. Path ended in a cold-looking river. I wasn't sure if it was safe to cross. No. Let's try maybe there was another option. I'm a noob, but I'm not gonna drown. Pretty sure I'm not gonna get killed by a bear at this point. Fire pit there. It was still a bit warm and a few embers still burned at the bottom. Folding camp tables on the ground. One was knocked over. A couple of cans of beer spilled on the ground. Cheap dome tent slept 2 people. I showed my flashlight and could see some bedrolls, 2 backpacks, and a cooler. Felt like if I kept rooting through the campsite, someone would walk in on me. There were some personal effects shoved back into the rock. Wait, there was a notebook there too. Did I read it? Ah, yes! Inside the cheap dollar store notebook was page after one page of names and lists. None of it made any sense. The page contained several names. Heather, Olivia, Ashley, Cheryl, Iris, Stephanie, and Holly, Rose, Rachel. Her name was last on the list, and I had marked beside it in blue ink. had been crossed out in the same blue ink. Cheryl, Heather, and Rose had also been crossed out, but those marks looked older and more faded. Who were all these names? I could only think about how much I needed to get home to make sure Rachel was okay, or Rochelle. I've heard it both ways. Not going back to the campsite. Hello? Don't look. No, no, no. I have to look. Carry the plank under my arm so it didn't get in the way. Grimy sink hit a small patch that almost looked clean. Wasn't much in the way of clean water there, but the sink did work. Clean water there, but the sink did work. First one I had seen, this must have been the exit to the other side of the woods. Now to figure out my way back. What was I doing? I don't belong here. I belong in the woods. Actually, I don't know where I belong. I'm just a man, standing in front of a bear, asking it not to eat me. Shut up. Just shut up. You had me at Garara. With two bodies, two young women were half dug in hasty shallow graves between the trees. The younger looking one was still face up, her dead eyes gleaming against my flashlight. Better than that, did I clean up the grave site? Yeah. I had to do something. Girls weren't carrying any IDs, so I couldn't determine their names. I only hoped that whoever had done this, done it quickly. Phone or something at their campsite, maybe I could call for help. Well, on the bright side, I don't have to worry about someone finding me. Okay, let's keep doing this. Let's do this like Brutus. That tent was suffocating. I don't know what I'm doing. All I know, there's dead bodies in the woods. That's not the way I was supposed to go. That's the way I was supposed to go. Okay. Okay, let's get out of here. Found the exit. Once I left, I knew I never wanted to return there. Whatever. Through the dense trees, I could finally start to see some light. I must have been at the edge of a forest, though I wasn't sure where the path ahead led. I could almost feel the cryptic notebook in my pocket as I tried to think about what it could mean, and where were the campers who had abandoned their site. Would I meet them too? The path I just did. I knew what lay ahead. As I stepped through the gate, I suddenly recognized the auto parts factory where I'd worked as a machinist for all those years. The plant had closed almost 3 years ago now. Times were better then. I thought I could hear a faint rustling behind me. Maybe it was just the wind. I should have brought a gun. Hobling's contents were tossed around like somebody had been looking for something. Old work clothes had been picked through, and a few photos and notes had been ripped off the door and spread around. The door was locked shut, and there was a little electric box under the handle. It said, "Danger, closed for repairs." There was a large power box with 5 lights on it. Cables burst out the box. Something, starting to wear. Cobwebs had collected on all the corners. Box wasn't receiving power. Door was locked tight. It seemed to be connected to the power box beside it. There's some kind of mystery. It's mad old and rotted. I noticed the old bulletin board on the wall. Board contained yellow clippings of a newspaper, cartoons, and notices. There were notes to and from guys that worked there. One of them was to Norman, who was one of the older guys on the line. Norman took over a general store after the factory. He, Rochelle, and I would every now and then liked him because he seemed more positive despite the setback. I don't think I could say the same about me. And I'm not sure how I just figured out how to skip that, and I probably never will. Okay, let's not die. Don't tell the killer where I am. Power panel, it looked like it was shut off. Did I push the switch? Yes. Still wasn't working. Should I switch it again? Yes. Dirty work clothes and old boots. There was a photo of a woman taped to the inside, but it was scratched out. The face was unrecognizable. A woman's photo. I knew I had to get back to Rochelle to find out what happened. Power panel looked like it was shut off. Yes. Shut tight. There was a rusty looking card slot. Killer's chasing me. Norman's locker, the door was dented like someone had punched it. I don't remember him doing that when we worked here. My head ached, and I recalled the last time Norman and Rochelle all had lunch together. Rochelle seemed so much more at ease when we all hung out. Another panel I hoped would help me get the power back on. Did I push the switch? Yes. Utility shelf crowned with mismatched tools and items. There was a claw hammer on the shelf. Yeah. Being useful and productive there in this plant, that's all I ever wanted. Factory closed, everything got worse. Crybaby. This magnetic card, take the card. And to power back on, did I push the switch? Lots of trouble lies ahead. Should I have taken the knife, used the hammer? The old wooden boards came apart easily. There's my locker there in the factory. Factory closed. bottles over the man in the house. Reeked of sour stench of leftover liquor. We all know who it is. The Conan O'Brien killer. Except Conan O'Brien doesn't die. Go Conan. Duh. Find out more story. Jump to the room below. No. Letter on the floor. Try and read the letter. Violently scratched out with what looked like to be ballpoint pen. Me too. Just don't. Drinking need Norman. The plant, the one with all the bottles, it was really getting to me. Oh, man, I turned on all those things and then I screwed up. Okay, I'm going to call it quits again. Thank you, interwebs, for putting up with me. This is Quisani Wordcaster telling you guys to be as you were.